All right, so this afternoon I'm here to update you on our most recent Amber Alert that went out. I know everybody's interested. I don't have any specific prepared remarks other than to say that we have located the missing person and the gentleman involved. Both were located in New York City, and we're working currently on going down to get them and bring them back here to Rochester for a follow-up investigation. As you may guess, we obviously have an ongoing criminal investigation at this point, so it's going to be limited in what we can say. But we can say that our missing person is safe and will be brought back home and eventually turned over to her mom.
How were they found?
I'm sorry?
How were they found?
They were located using friends of ours in law enforcement in New York City, NYPD, and members of the FBI.
And they're still currently in New York City?
They are. We're working out arrangements to bring them back to Rochester sometime, hopefully this evening.
So safe, any kind of harm? Or?
At this point, we're aware of no harm to the abducted person. She's fine.
What can you say about the relationship between the two? The mother has said that they did not know each other. They were not in a relationship. Some reports to the contrary.
So we believe there's some kind of relationship there. They know each other. We don't have enough detail right now to go into exactly what the relationship was, the level of the relationship. We hope to flesh some of that out once we get her back to Rochester.
When exactly was she reported missing?
She was reported missing to the Rochester Police Department on December 3rd at 11:54 a.m. is when ECD dispatched our officer to that job.
ECD is?
I'm sorry, the Emergency Communications Division, 911 if you will.
And so when was the Amber Alert issued?
The Amber Alert was officially issued at 9:57 p.m. on the 3rd.
So that seems to be a big time difference.
Well, there's a lot of work to do when we have a case of this nature come up. We had 3 investigators, officers, and supervisors around the clock from the moment we were made aware of it to the time we were able to verify facts and then also meet the criteria for an Amber Alert. As you know, there's a strict criteria for the Amber Alert. Once that was met, we immediately put out the Amber Alert.
So that time frame sounds like a lot, but with everything, it sounds like you're saying it's not a long time with everything that has to be done.
Right, in investigative work, that's actually a short time period. We're talking 10 hours, almost 10 hours. So and sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it can be immediate depending how much we know at the time.
Has he been charged with anything?
So he had an assault third warrant out for him prior to this occurring, and we're serving that warrant obviously. Now he's in custody on that, and there's potential for pending other charges against him.
But no kidnapping charges or anything like that related to
It's very likely he'll be charged with kidnapping once we get back to Rochester, yes.
And assault third is what?
Assault in the 3rd degree is a misdemeanor.
And it was related to what, sir?
That, an unrelated assault third warrant that he had against him, nothing to do with this.
Can you be more specific about where these 2 people were found in New York City?
I can give you the borough at this time, and just have to put my glasses on for a second. Located in Brooklyn. In Brooklyn.
Is that where Mr. Gonzalez is from?
I don't believe so. I believe he has ties to New York City. We haven't quite figured out exact ties to New York City. We're working on that part. But I know he has ties to the New York City area.
Did you say there were charges against him? Yeah.
There's an assault third charge right now against him. That was a warrant. In this case here, we are looking at charging him with kidnapping, yes.
Okay. Does something like this automatically lead to CPS getting involved?
So, you mean after the fact?
Yeah,
of course. We actually, this case actually started with CPS. The Child Protective Services actually went to the house on Monday on a follow-up with a New York State Police investigator following up a investigation they had, and from that we learned that she was missing, and that's when they called us.
I'm sorry, so the mom had said that she called 911 that her daughter was missing. You're saying that's not what happened?
She did. She did in fact call 911 after the Child Protective Workers went to the house on a follow-up, yes. And
found that she was not there?
Correct. Well, the mom said she wasn't there, and they advised her, you need to call 911 and follow up, and that's exactly what we did. So she did call.
So the family was already involved in CPS?
Well, CPS was going there for an investigation. I don't know the details of their investigation, but they were in fact involved.
And so was the New York State Police before 911 was called?
No, the New York State Police were working with child protectives. Okay. Separately on their own investigation. Nothing to do with us, if you will. We found out after the fact.
But something to do with the daughter.
Yes, they were there on a follow-up with the daughter, and for the facts of that one, I don't have those facts. I don't know exactly what their follow-up was, but that's what initiated everything.
Is there anyone else other than Mr. Gonzalez who may be charged in connection with this abduction or kidnapping?
At this point, we don't believe so.
Can you go over for people who are watching what does trigger an Amber Alert? Because again, we do have that 9-10 hour time difference. What does trigger?
So
that?
under 17 years old, they have to have some imminent potential for danger to them, harm to themselves, or possibly a mental capacity that would make them in danger as well, and they have to be, taken against their will.
So they have to meet the LAPD, some of those criteria.
So the criteria, if you guys want to know what the criteria is, it's actually on the open data portal in our general orders, and I can point you to that general order if anybody's interested in looking at it. It's General Order 430, I believe. If I put on my glasses again, give me a second. Yeah, General Order 430. So if you refer to that, it'll give you exactly what an Amber Alert is needed, what's needed for an Amber Alert to trigger.
Did you mention how they were found?
Not with any specifics. There was no issue. There was without incident, if you will. They were located.
So they were approached at a private residence or in public?
I can't get into that part right now. Part of our investigation, criminal side of the investigation. But yeah, without incident, they were located and taken without any problems.
How do police deal with a situation like this where it's a minor apparently is voluntarily leaving with an older person? Is this a different situation for you than a normal missing person? Or?
So it all depends on the facts, the overall facts behind the case. Young folks leave with older folks all the time, that there's not a bit of an issue. It becomes an issue if the additional facts tell us there's a potential for somebody having, be in danger against their will, of course, would be another. But, it all depends on what the facts of that particular case. We treat it the way the facts take us.
So do you believe that it was against her will at this point? Or?
I can't discuss that part right now.
So what would you say for advice for parents about teens in these sort of any kind of a relationship, quote unquote, with adults? What advice does law enforcement have in that?
Our advice is to know what your children are doing all the time. Keep an eye on them, know where they are, know who they're with, know who they're talking to, whether it be social media, in person, know where they go and know what they do. That's your best defense against something happening to your child. All right.
What's the time frame you expecting for her return, and also for Gonzalez will be brought back here as well?
I don't have exact time frame. It's dependent on when we can get down there and get them back, and so it's real up in the air right now. But we hope to do it as soon as we can.
Because it's the same state, obviously, it's a lot easier to. It's not you just go get them, right? I mean, versus like if it was an out-of-state thing.
Just a matter of travel time.
Yeah.
So, 6-hour drive to New York City, or a 2-hour plane ride to Florida. It all depends on the mode of transportation, obviously, and the time and the weather and all the other factors.
Joanna's family told us that she was in the hospital in Manhattan. Do you know why she was hospitalized?
No, I don't have any information on that she was hospitalized. Like I say, she's fine, so it wouldn't be anything that's serious.
Is that normal course when someone is found with someone and there's question about whether they should be with that person, they take them to the hospital just for whether it's mental health or anything else check?
No, only facts would dictate that. If there's a need for a medical attention, whether it be physically or psychologically, we would follow that up. But it all depends on the case. It's not a routine.
I understand there was an awareness in the neighborhood of them as a couple. Is this anything that either was reported, or maybe this is something that somebody shared?
Can't really comment on that right now, but we're following up on all potential information related to the two of them. And like I said, any kind of relationship that they may or may not have had, we're following up on that as well. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.